became even more real. That haze of kind of vivid, omnispectral vision kind of faded and turned into this pure visual spectrum only. And I saw actions and heard their voices, everything in real time as I entered from here. And when I saw this, my friend Alex, I'm going to go back behind over here again, was actually a little bit more in front of where the piano is right there, the little board thing you can see there. That's the UFO of the Spencer's gift variety that I marked about. And yeah, somewhere in between those guys. Okay. And keep in mind, Alex's usual spot is somewhere right close to that little, where the guitar head is right there. That's where he used to be. It's not that anymore, but over way back there by the painting. Okay, and I entered, that white light was, approximately right there, those little thingies are hanging down. We're recording in here, so excuse our mess. But yeah, so that's kind of where I saw it. Alex was right here again, okay, over there. Very unusual for me to see that. Let me see if I can get there. Yeah, he's about like, maybe like right there. I'd be like touching Alex in the head right now. If I force perspective this, it's like, oh, Alex, you're touching Alex's head. Okay, that's enough of that. It's kind of stupid. Okay, basically, he's right there. And my friend Gilbert was right in the center of the room. Not back there, let's see if I can do this again. Okay, not way over here. Not right there. No, not right there. Okay, well, he was actually kind of more towards the center of the room, which he'd be pacing back and forth right here. Ironically enough, kind of where I entered, in a sense. And as that happened, I started pulling back more towards this view that I'm here at this camera with that one, as I remarked, the 180 view from about right there all the way around. And I can hear them, and I can hear everything they're saying, and it is like a rehash of some of the arguments that I've heard and the concerns I've heard, but never necessarily all of them spoken right out. So honestly, to each other, in each other's physical presence. So to me, I'm like, good. They're getting some shit out, but it's like, what the fuck? I had to have just made that up. It's like, that can't just be happening now. No fucking way. And so I'm like, that's kind of tense. There goes my fucking rest. Obviously, that's in my head. Now I'm like, fuck it, I'll wake up. So I wake up, and I'm just like, damn, I need to smoke after that shit. That was pretty fucking intense. And so I'm walking out, and my cousin, who I remarked about who was here, he was just sitting there. I don't recall him right away, seeing him in this initial walking in. But he kind of walked out the door as I was walking up, and he kind of whispers to me, they're fighting. And I'm just like, oh, jeez. Of course they are. What a fucking coincidence, And it's like, yes, the kind of, psychoanalysis, materialistic, reductionist theory is like, subconsciously I knew all this stuff already. I'm already seeing it, already knew it. It's like, yeah, that's a pretty fucking good guess. And I think that's what that whole lucid experience was. But then after that, it's like it was like, I picked up the conversation almost. You know what I mean? I could see that gap. I knew where they were at already in their conversation too. And it was like, yeah, I walked in, my buddy Alex was right where I was pointing him out to in the vision. My friend Gilbert was pacing back and forth right here, fucking pissed off, back and forth. And at the time, I'm just like, there's no way I can talk about this right now, So I have to deal with the band situation. And so that's kind of what I did, and then we kind of did everything. But long story short about that, just so everyone's not concerned, there's no bad blood at all. And it was cool, I think that's basically how, like that first vision I told you about of the dream with the Northern Lights kind of showed that it was like, yes, we're going to part ways, but it was going to be cool, and it was going to be for our own respective destinies. Like, we have fulfilled what we needed to do together, and now it's coming the time we need to part. And it's cool, and I actually just got done painting his motorcycle helmet, which I'm going to upload soon to show you guys, and with those Northern Light reference too, so kind of a visual aid to this weird thing I'm doing here. So anyways, that one really kind of opened my eyes because at that point, that kind of shows you how strong that third eye was, how I developed it. It was kind of like, oh, thought enters my mind while in the void. Oh, there it pops. There's my little image. There I can just, okay, go. Yeah, it's like that's how easy it got to me because I was just doing it all the damn time. And and so that's why like it was more like, I'm like, dude, wait a minute. That kind of broke the system a little bit. Like you're not actually supposed to necessarily hear what they're saying and be in the actual room according to like science. You know, 'cause science knows everything now. And, so, yeah, that kind of fucked my head for a while. But I let it sit there. And eventually, long story short, I kind of realized I was told out by experience a literal real-time one. Which I know I haven't heard too many people talk about. I know some people can. I know Robert Monroe reportedly is the guy who can spontaneously do this. And, but yeah, that was pretty intense. And, so that was kind of like proof positive to me. Like, even then, and I doubted myself for so long. Even in that experience, I'd rationalized it away to like, damn, that was a good guess. It's like, good job, you go. No. No, that's not how it really works. And, you know, because while I might have been patting myself on the back at the time, my intentions lied for the good of, like, my friends and, like, our projects, respectively, whatever we want to do in our futures. So it was very, I still came from a very unselfish place in a lot of ways, and I think that was kind of led to this, and the reason why I woke myself up, I mean, I could have at one point I realized I could sit here and prove this to myself. I could do it, but what made me wake up is because to me, like, it still felt kind of wrong because I was intruding. Like, if I'm sleeping, I'm there anyways, I might as well wake the fuck up and just go stand there. It's kind of cowardly for me to listen in on this, you know? So that's why I didn't just do it and kind of look for proof and blah, blah, blah. So there, for anyone who may see this in the future, shows how much I give a shit about proof when it comes to certain things. So, but yeah, that was kind of it for me. It was like, it's possible. It's like, holy shit. Holy fucking shit. If that is possible, then that means all this other psychic stuff is probably fucking totally true too. And everything I have been doing was something else. So, it was a really interesting time. Now, this other experience I had with the o.b.e experience, basically, was a little different because I'm not sure if you guys have heard or heard of the phenomenon of the shadow people. I never heard of this crap before, like at the time this experience happened. But reportedly there are these things that kind of are part of the night terror phenomena, where they kind of have been known to fuck with people, you know, and just terrorize them because they can. Like, they're like, oh, you're terrorized, I'm going to fuck with you, I'm going to feed off your fear. That's what it seems like to me. I'm not a fucking expert, but that's what I've found in just my research and what I've seen. Can point to some stuff, like there's a coast-to-coast interview, which is really good with, I forgot the researcher's name, if I can find it. But either way, and then actually one of our acquaintances before mine and my wife's had remarked about a particular gentleman, you know, kind of being in the presence of my wife at the time on some other kind of plane.